So welcome to the instructional handover video for the all new Laika Kreos L5009. I'm going to walk you around the outside and then we'll take you on to the inside. So we're based on a Fiat cab. It's a 2.2 180 brake horse. You'll find on the passenger side that by opening the door here and pressing in that compartment that you will show where your diesel point and your AdBlue filler goes into. It just clips in, so if you look here, that little ball will just clip in, lock it in place and hold that in tight when you're closing it. We've got the engine battery located underneath here. We've got the pull down for the bonnet release catch, and also on this area we are fully fitted with blinds both on the side and by pinching the two together on the inside. Those with eagle eyes will notice that there are some sensors up there. The customer's had an additional alarm system fitted, so they aren't standard. Behind that we've got accessibility to the underfloor area, and in here we'll find there is a little light switch here which will illuminate that area. We've got the filter for the underfloor air conditioning unit, and that's a Truma Sapphire system that's fitted underneath, so just be careful putting items in here, and certainly putting items around the filter where you've got accessibility from underneath or from here, so that you don't damage the filter or the pipework to allow the air conditioning to ventilate. You'll see that it's a full double floored and it's also heated into this area as well. Like I say, light switch will turn on and off the light once you put power onto the unit inside. The door simply holds up on the gas strut and will close down, and will lock using the single key for all the external lockers on the Laika. Behind that we've got the vent for the Alder heating system, so it's a wet heating system on this particular vehicle, so this does get warm, be careful. And below that we've got the gas flow system, so we've fitted as an addition again the gas refillable system, so the outlet to fill it up is on the outside of the vehicle there, and then the bottles are in the gas locker here. So again, open the door, it'll sit on the gas rams. We've got two 11 kilogram bottles in here with the adapters. That goes onto the top of the standard regulator. You've got a changeover valve at the top. Simply points to the bottle that's in use, so that side, or turn it around the other side, that side. And when we're opening the gas low bottles, all we simply do is just open up the bottle just like so. The gas will come onto the inside of the vehicle. When you're finished, just close it down again like so. Same if you were on the bottle. On the top we've got a little gauge, so it'll tell us roughly what's inside it, and then once they're full you do fill them up, just either using the closed position on the bottles but using the filler parts there. The different adapters are for the different markets in the European market when you're away. Again, using the single key just to lock it, you'll hear a firm click. Above that we've got the external gas point. Once the gas is turned on and you are connected up to an external cooking facility, then you will turn on the isolator just there. If you turn that on, obviously with the gas on, gas will just come out of there, so just be careful, and you'll just need an attachment to whatever you're connected into on the outside of the vehicle. Further back of that we've got the filler point here, which you just open there, again lockable with the key, but that's what you'll use to fill up the fresh water. Yeah, so simply hose pipe in there. When it's full it will simply overflow out of the vehicle for you. When you're finished with it, just lock it in place, it'll click and you put your key in and that will secure the unit in place. The rear doors on the Laika now we've gone to wing doors, so two opening doors. You've got a handle that you'll use to close it, yeah, and in here we have got various accessibility points for your water system, so, and they're all in these press stud little push button lockers. So under here we've got your freshwater tank. So as you see at the minute, the bottom one will allow you to fill it up to 20% capacity. The one on the right will allow you to fill it up to full capacity. And if you simply put those in line, like so, that will empty the fresh water out of the freshwater tank. Simply close it back in the across position and that will hold the water in the fresh water. Next to that is the wastewater. That's an automatic control, and I'll show you on the other side of the vehicle how to do that, and it dumps anything that you put into the shower area, sink areas directly out of the vehicle. To this side you'll find your water pump. And next to it is a little filter. So you'll just need to clean this filter every so often. Make sure it's not blocked up with grit and stones or anything like that. And they're all behind these lockers. So when you're moving away, you push them in. Low down here, we've got an external shower point. And again, it will work on hot if you've got your boiler turned on. Otherwise, it will simply, as soon as you turn your pump on, work on cold. So that's how that works. And you do get the attachment for that. We've got your wine rack holders. There's a light switch just in here and two at the back just there, which will illuminate this area. It also comes with some chocks that Alco provide, all the handbooks and manuals. This customer's added a TV, and that's what will fit in the front section of the vehicle, and we'll show you when we go inside. You've got your ladders for the drop down bed, your awning for the actual external awning, which we'll send you a separate video on. Cab carpets, there's your shower hose, and then I'll come round to the other side and show you what you've got on there. We've got the all new back panel, so a new design for the back panel with a high up reversing camera. And moving round to the driver's side, you'll see we've got the Thule awning that runs the full length of the vehicle for you there. But like I say, I'll send you a separate video of how to use that. On this side, we've got your tyre inflation kit, the box which the Xenic multimedia system comes in, and then the Laikas are all being supplied with the documentation for the new Laika app. So this is something that we'll go through with you on the day, show you how to set up on the day, but all new Laikas from 2023 will have the new Laika app facility. On here we've got another compartment to give you access underneath, and the black tank is your waste tank. To empty the waste, just press the button and then it will open and dump out any wastewater. When it's dumped, press it back up and it will close it to hold the wastewater in there. Above that, we've got the main isolator, so if you want to turn off all the power to the vehicle, you simply will turn the isolator around and it will shut off everything in the vehicle. When you want to put it back on again, you'll turn it to this position here, and all the power in the vehicle will work again. Inside here, you'll find all your main electrics. So we've got the solar panel regulator, we've got the main RCD box, the little button at the top here being your test button. So when you're plugged into mains and you press that button, the trip switch will come down and tell you that you are getting power to the vehicle. It's wired directly to the external power point, so that's always your first port of call. We've got two chargers. They do work as one, so it's just two together, but working as one single charger unit. And then we've got the fuses all nice and neatly labelled up there for you. So if you think a fuse is gone, just refer to your handbook and double check in that area there. Again, before moving on, just press the buttons in and that will hold them flaps and doors closed for you when you're in transit. Okay, so that's the rear of the area, and again, like I said, when you come in to close it, handle, simply pull down, and then again using the one single key for the exterior locker areas, you'll lock the door nice and neatly there. Mains plug-in point, to remove it you just pull it down with your thumb and pull the cable out. Yep, and that is your mains into the vehicle. Forward of that, we've got the toilet cassette. So those that have had motorhomes before will be familiar. Those that haven't, simply slide it out like that. You'll want to turn it around like so, lift it up to empty it, and at the same time press the little orange button at the top. That will release the vacuum. Clean it out. Put your chemicals either back in at this point or back in through the toilet. We have a handle and we have wheels, and we'll simply just want to slide it back in. Nice and neat, and it should just latch over there. Again, lock in with the singular key. Fridge vents, high and low, just there. And then below here, we have our boiler valve for draining the boiler. So in the position it's at the minute, it will hold the water in the boiler and allow you to heat the hot water. And that's with the diamond across and the button pressed in. I'll show you the heater controls when we go inside, and then I'll remind you when I come back outside how to drain that down. Again, there is a little symbol here telling you what that is and referring to the handbook if you are unsure and can't remember. Forward of that, we've got an accessible locker area here. with a shelf that is removable if you want to do that, and then your underfloor accessibility underneath the vehicle just there. Okay, so again, closing and using your singular key to just do that. To get into the habitation door, you'll just need to open the back door on the keys, pull the handle, and that will give us access into inside. The step is an electric step that just comes out there. The door has a blind and a fly screen built in, and we've got a locking point here which will lock it when the door's closed and open it when the door needs to be opened. So that's the outside of the vehicle taken care of. Let's move on inside. So starting from here, we've got your main power on and off. We've then got our lighting options. So we want to press that button and that will give us power for our 12-volt lights. The button next door but one will give us power to our awning light, so the exterior light. We've got an indicator to tell us that we're plugged into mains electric as well. And then we've got a pump on and a pump off. Now when you fill up the fresh water, and you look how much fresh water's in by pressing the button on the left, just there, tells us it's 100%. Press the button above, it will tell us what power is in our engine battery and our leisure batteries. Yeah. So once you've got water in, you've turned your pump on, and you've shut your valve that I mentioned on the outside, you'll need to come to your taps, open your taps, and pull it through your boiler. Yeah. Now you want to get it so it's a steady stream. We can see there we've got a little bit of air in it. So it'll do that until we get a steady stream of water. All it's doing is pulling the air through. So it can take a few minutes to do this, because all it's doing is filling up the boiler with water, pulling all the air out, and then that will allow you to go to your hot water. So just let the air come out. It is advisable to do it in both bathroom and shower area. So again, you pull out the air out of the system. So like that. Again, it's just pulling the air through. And you run it until you've got a steady stream, like I've said, on both options. It'll take a while because it's got to fill up the tank. Yeah. But once you've got a steady stream, then we'll go on to the next part of the video. So there we are, we've got a steady stream. We'll then want to turn off the water in there. What we'll want to do next is you'll want to go to your heater controls. So this can be found, and it's turned on and off using the little switch just there. Yeah, it's a new version, so it'll take a bit of getting used to for those ones that have had the older system. But straight away we can see that we're plugged in. It gives us the option to turn the temperature up or down, just like so. You can press the menu, it will take you to the first option. And the first option will give you 3 screens. So if you press the top right hand corner, it will give you 3 different options that you can select, and it will rotate it round. Yeah. If you press it again, it will take you to a quick screen, and that will give you your temperature you want it inside the vehicle. This will give you your options for your choices that you're wanting to heat the hot water and the heating on. So 1, 2, and again, it's all the touch screen or off. And that's on the electric side of it on the top. So pretty straightforward. Gas, again, once you turn your gas on, press it there, and if gas is not turned on, it will tell you that it's not turned on. So just reminder that you need to go to the gas and turn it back on. Yeah. So that is your functions that you're trying to operate the heating and the hot water from. If you want the hot water on, then simply put it on. It will then start heating it up. It takes about 30 minutes to get fully heat. Yeah. Or if you want to boost up that scenario, it will take all the power away for 30 minutes from the heating to get the hot water up to temperature. Yeah. So if you're not bothered about it warming up in the vehicle, you just want your hot water working, that 30 minute of boost will be to the left, or you can just leave it on the on position like so. Now, one clever little thing about this as well is if we go to the middle option, you've got night and day modes. So again, these will be when you're a bit more confident in it. But the third option down is the air conditioning. So it's linked through the Truma air conditioning with this. So you can either go manually, yeah, and you can turn it medium or high. Now that will turn on the air conditioning. unit, which is just done here. You do have a separate remote for this, but I think most people will use it through here. Now that'll run on a medium heat to cool the vehicle down forever and a day. Your other option on that is if you go then to your Aldi control, auto, click that, and then what that will do is with your remote control, you will have a temperature setting. So 22 degrees. It will cool the vehicle to 22 degrees. Once it's done that, it will shut off. So it won't, there we go. It won't only try and heat the vehicle, it will try and cool it down to that degree. Yeah, so you can have it both cool and hot depending on what the temperature is. Yeah, you can turn it on and off using that control. Again, you can see it's gone to off because I turned it on the control to turn it off there. So different options of what you want to do. This is the simplified option with the aircon, or you can use it on and off using the remote control, which is separate with the vehicle. To the side of it, we've got the TV. So you simply just press it down. Again, just be careful with the cables coming down. But you'll see there, that is the 32-inch TV fitted. Non-standard, customer specified this. Just be careful again, cables going up and down for that. For those that are interested, this is a smart TV. It's got the new apps built into it. So you can link it to an aerial or Wi-Fi if you want to do, or put dongles in there if you want to do it. But just gently be careful, putting it back up, make sure everything fits in nice and neat away, and then just tucking up them cables back out of the way. Okay, doke. The other option above it is the bed. So if I just move to the side here, if you press and hold that, you'll see the bed is coming down. Now just make sure that you're free of any obstructions. Yeah, and the bed will come down all the way. You put your ladders on here. You've got lights that turn on and off just on the side. You've got your own ventilation. And again, if you drop your TV down a little bit, you'll be able to even watch the TV when you're in bed. Underneath the bed, you've got safety rail nets that just clip into the little press buttons just there for you. Okay, and then when you're finished, just press and hold the button back up. Pretty straightforward really, and that will take it back up. Just flush fitting in, just like that. On the control panel, the last thing I did just miss is the auxiliary. So when it illuminates blue, that will allow your USB points within the vehicle to charge up. Behind that, we've got a microwave, fully functioning on mains only, so just be careful with that. It doesn't work when you're not hooked up to mains. We've got the fridge, so we press and hold the fridge and it will illuminate. Now this fridge will open from both sides. Okay, so the way to navigate this is you'll press it and it'll allow you to then do the temperature. If you want to go into that, you'll then scroll it back down to change it from warmest to coldest. When you've decided, you just press it and it will take you back. Press it again and move it down. This will give you functions that you want to operate it on. So automatic will automatically search the strongest signal. You've got battery, that will only work when the engine's running. You've got gas when you're not hooked up to mains and your battery's not running. Or you've got manually selected electric. Most people will run it in the automatic function. So again, if we select that and then go to backwards, it will automatically select the electric option. The next option down then will be your light options, so you can turn it down and bright. This is for your control panel. Once you've selected, it'll come back out of it. A noise, so you can mute the noise. Yeah, we've got a blower that will blow it around. So again, you select it, it will just stay on it. If you don't, you'll just remove it. And that's a blower for the freezer section. Press the back arrow and then you round onto that side of it. Okay, opening it up, it will open up from both options, like so. And to turn the unit off, you just press and hold it, like so. Yeah, so opening it up from both sides. Quite an ingenious idea on that side of it. Okay, on the opposite side, you've got the fridge, the cooker. So you've got a 3-burner hob just on the top. Yeah, and it's 1, 2 and 3. And then you've got the oven and the grill option. So to put the grill on, you turn it to the right, and that will be the grill. For the oven, you turn it to the left, light it, and then turn the dial down and up, depending on what you want to do. In the 12 o'clock position, that is the off position. Okay, again, heed the notice just on here, let it cool down before you pull that lid down, otherwise you will have a lot of mini pieces everywhere. The drawers themselves, just there's a little push button on the front. It release the catch and allow you then to open up the drawers. Just soft close on there, and again here you've got a locking point, so just allow them to close, they'll lock in place. Same throughout. Again, some of them are giving you a little wait option, but they'll close back in. And then in this middle section you've got your little pull-out loader. You've got your utensil area, and then you've got a large section underneath, just there. So again, just letting them close through. On the floor areas, you've got some underfloor storage. So you lift them up, you've got accessibility in there to put items in the floor. You've got one there, and then if I spin around, you've got one near the entrance door. Lift up. So you can put things into that double floor area. Third hatch on the floor is where your battery will be located, and where you will also find the inverter. So there are provisions for 2 batteries in here. You will find your inverter is just hooked up here, and on the end of it you've got a little switch which allows you to either put it in 3 positions: off, in the manual position, which will basically make the switch. So what this one does, what this inverter does, is it gives us power to this single main socket. Yeah. So if you put it in the manual position, it'll be live all the time. The option automatic one will allow you then to switch the switch and operate that switch as that plug as and when you turn that switch, or the other option is in the off position. So it's for that top singular socket only, which will give it power whether you're hooked up to mains or not. So that's what the inverter is on this particular motorhome, just like so. The coffee machine that comes with it, that just sits nicely on there for those that want to know. In here we've got your storage areas, covers for the cooker area, covers for the sink area, the drainer area, and your grill pan. Above here we've got the Omni vent. So those that aren't familiar with it, you twist it up like so, press the power onto it, give it a minute or so, and then you will either select 1, 2 or 3 speed options. To slow it back down, press the other way, and again you can then reverse it to take it in rather than pulling it out. Yeah, so the fan will turn the opposite direction and draw the air in. Okay, to turn the unit off, just press it in the middle and that will go off. It will spin down, let it stop spinning, and then make sure that you just close the hatch down before your onward travels. Just like so. It has a blind in here as well, so you can close that in an evening to stop any light and dark getting in the vehicle. On the window blinds themselves, they all come with fly screens and blinds. We've also got in here the window, so literally just open the hatches and then gently out, it will hold out all the way out to come all the way back in. We'll then close it, and then 2 stages for the locking points. Also in here we've got a couple of additional sockets. Like I say, you've got the 2 sink options. We've got air conditioning vents that are in the upper position. We've got the door that then comes over and slides and locks in place from the rear to the front. Yeah, so nice and neat in there. Moving into the back, we've got the sliding storage compartment, just like so. into the shower floor. For those that are just wanting to use it as another storage area, a dress area, there is a base to go in there, but this needs to be removed when we are showering. The shower itself, again, has a mixer tap, hot and cold, on the bottom. And then the top one has 3 positions. Off, turn it to the left, and this will be the handheld shower area. Turn it to the right, and that will be our overhead area, just like that. Light switch for in here is just at the top. Yeah, so just in there, we'll turn off the light individually in there. Above it, we've got a hecky. On here, we've got a blind and a fly screen. And to open it up, we turn it round, push our thumbs down, pull it back, and that opens us up just there. It's the same, but a larger version just in the back. Yeah, and I'll talk you through it on the front one in a moment. Into the bathroom area. Those that are asking the question, I think there's been a few questions asked on the forum. This section down here is a support section for the door, because the door's wider than a normal door. It's an additional securing bracket for that actual door itself. We've got the toilet roll holder. We've got the flush button for the toilet, remembering that the pump must be turned on. And we've got the level indicator to tell us that it's full. Lifting up the toilet, those that remember, you've got to have the blade valve in the right position. So in this particular one, towards the front of the vehicle, we'll close the blade. Pull it towards the back of the vehicle, it will open it up. So you do whatever you're going to do with it open. Push it, put your flush button in there, close the lid, and then once it's closed, you can then remove the toilet cassette from the area. We've got light switch just here, so lower one and higher ones. We've got, by pressing them in, storage areas, towel rail, toothbrush holder, soap dispenser, and a mains plug-in point in this area. Again, we've got a hecky up here with a fly screen and a blind. Your coat hooks can be found in there. And then these simply just press down. These will give you access into the areas of your bathroom. The rear of the vehicle then can be left like that, so screened off. And those that are wanting privacy in here, we'll just pull that little latch down and slide that door across, and that will give you privacy from the toilet area if you have guests or anything like that to go into that area. We've got light switches on here. The good thing about the light switches, if you press and hold it, you'll see that the lights will brighten and dimmer. Yeah, depending on what you want it. So you can set the mood to however you're feeling. Again, we've got air conditioning vents in here. Yeah, we've got provisions for a second TV in here, both mains, aerial, and 12 volts. Aerials and Wi-Fi's and things like that will be additional, so you will need to add them. They're not a standard fit option. In here is where you will find your Aldi heating fluid. So that's where the fluid level is found. You've got lights at the back that turn on and off, and the USB points underneath, which become accessible once you turn the auxiliary switch on. The cupboards themselves here have a little opening hatch just there, and the same on the side ones, just like so, all the way around the vehicle. Little storage pockets either side, just there. So sliding that back, so gently across, and it will just lock in place just there. We have got the lifting up step area just there, which will then give us the accessibility to the under storage areas. So onto the cupboards. Literally what we want to do is we want to press them buttons in and out, and that will disengage the lock, and then we simply want to pull it out like so. Now the top compartments can be removed, so you can take them out. You can have them at angles, or you can have it as a full hanging rail using the little slots on there, and then they'll just slide back in. You can pull the step down then if you want, and just lock that in place. Same on that side, that will come across. Lift and pull that out of the way. Pull the handle, and then you will see the full hanging space there just on that side. Now, one other thing in this area that you do have is the thermostat. So if you do want to turn the temperature down when you've got the heating on, you can turn the dial from off to highest point. So this will just regulate the heat separately in the bedroom area, which ventilates from around the side in these little cutouts from the front. So if you want it cooler in here or cooler in the front and warmer in here, this is a little regulator to do that for you. Now, coming into the front, I've removed the cushions because there's a couple of little cupboards under here, so you can gain access to that underfloor storage area by lifting up that cupboard there, and it just hinges back down. And on this side, this does give you access to the area where the filter is that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. There is a bit of storage, but again, like I said, remember to keep that filter area clear of any obstructions, and don't be putting anything on top of the filter. I'll just pop the cushions back. For those that are wanting to use the vehicle for additional passengers, you'll need to remove this back, and it's velcroed on. They're quite strong with the velcros. And then this middle cushion here will, let me both of them up, make it easier. It will show you just a slide out section, which you would just simply slide up and remove out of the way. Yeah, and that would give you your passenger leg room. Pop them down like so. So you've got your leg room there for any additional passengers. Now, underneath that area, you'll see there's a little cutout, and that's give you access to the winding point should the mechanism on the bed ever fail on electric. That's where your manual point will go for winding the bed down. The table spins around, it will slide forward and backwards, and it will also rotate. To stop it from doing that, there's a little lever here. Push it up to lock it in place, pull it down to allow it to move around. So that's your locking point, and that is your release point. Pop it wherever you want to do, and then that will stop the table from moving around in transit. Now, above the cab, you've got some heating vents, and you've got a big panoramic sky roof light. To open the sky roof light, there's 3 separate pressing points, and then 2 additional levers, and that will open it up. And then what you'll use, tie down each of those so you screw them in, and that will hold it up for you. Please don't drive away with this open. It is always advisable to close that, and that's also got a blind and a fly screen in that area. You have additional storage again in either side, so just lift them up towards you, just like so. And then you also have an additional fuse, an additional socket just located on the forward facing point of that side facing seat. Now, into the cab area. With a couple of things on the cab area. So with a release mechanism for our swivel seats, you'll need to slide that back when it's in the forward facing position, and that will allow you to swivel it round. The 2 bars on the front will allow you to move it forward and backwards. So it's a combination of them to gain access to it. You also have a little switch down here, and this is the blower for the additional blower into the cab area. So just switch it down for low, switch it up for high, and in the middle position it's off, and it basically just gives you a bit more heat into that front area. On the side of the seats, you've got adjusters to lift up the height of the actual base of the seat, and you've got your normal lumbar support to give you back adjustment and armrest adjustments on the actual seats themselves. We've got drinks holders here. We've got a couple of cables coming out which are for media options. If you want to connect any media options to the vehicle, then you can do it that way. We've then got glove box, passenger airbag, another storage area above. We've got the phone or holder just there, and then just pop it. You will need to be careful because of the exempt unit that's fitted it won't come the full way forward. We've then got lock button, electric window switches and mirror switches for all 4 mirrors. We've then got fog light options, on off options, and then this little fan is a preheat. So it will preheat the aldehyde while you're running to start it to get warm, so that when you get to site it's quicker and easier for you to do that. So that's what that fan option is, and it's a click on and a click off. Will illuminate when it is clicked in. Going along this panel here, we've got you haven't got a heated back window for obvious reasons. You've got your hazard lights, your lock button, traction plus, hill descent, and you've got your warning symbol to see if you've turned your airbag off. You do your airbag through your actual vehicle options. We've then got the 9-speed ZF gearbox, and with a few different options. So the mode option here, just at the top, will give you either normal, power or eco. So you can select it and it will come up on the digital dash. And then you've got park, reverse, neutral and drive. All you do to engage it is just pull that lever down at the back, that little button, press it in, and then you pull it down to the required setting. We've got all your options here for the digital screen. So showing you the digital screen, you can just see it illuminating up there. We've got your fuel down here, you've got your miles per hour and kilometers there, your revs there. Then your middle position, if you move this button up and down, will take you through the different options that are now on the cab. So it will rotate it round and you'll be able to see what you want to do. If you want to then go into any of them, you just use the buttons across to go into them, press OK, and it will show you the different options on there. Just while we've got it started, I mentioned earlier in the video about it illuminating, so you'd press that on. Basically then starts to warm from the engine, the aldehyde heating system. You've got the windscreen wipers just on there, and then on this lower stick here, you've got your light options that are on or off. Yeah. Now the multimedia system on here does require you to turn it on and off using the little rocker switch here. So it will power on when you turn off the ignition. And when you turn off the ignition, you'll need to just turn it off. So that's the little rocker switch to turn on the multimedia system. Now, once the multimedia system's turned on, you've got a few different options. Inside here is where the little sat-nav card goes in. But on here, if we go back to home, then we'll see anything that is available will illuminate up. So you've got the DAB and it's all touchscreen. Yeah. Going to go back, you hit the home button, FM, your navigation, I'll come on to that in a minute and show you how to do that. Android app, or you can connect through your CarPlay using the leads that are in the lower position just down here. Yeah. We've got your camera option, so that will illuminate. You can set the grids on it if you want to do it, to show you what's behind the vehicle. And again, if you don't want it off, you can then rotate it through. You can have multiple cameras fitted to it, or you can just go back to the home setting. Going across, then you've got your Bluetooth option, which you can just connect without putting it through the leads. You've got the music and iPods if that comes on as well, HDMI option for that. And then you've got your setup and your display. So your setup will give you some more options that are available for you to choose whichever way you want to do it. So with the sat nav, you'll see that in the box, if it's not already done for you, you'll find that there's a little case. In here, you'll see that there's a card reader option. Now right at the bottom, it will simply just slide out. So you'll be left with the sleeve and then the little card itself. That little card goes into the end section here. So just make sure you put it the right way. And it shouldn't need to force it in. It should just gently. So just push in. And then you may need to use the end of it nearby the little card reader just to click it in. Now once it's clicked in, if we go back to the home screen, you'll see that the navigation's become active. So it takes a minute to initialize and set up, but this is what will then allow you to use the sat nav on the vehicle. So you do have an additional setup, so you can select the language that you want. And again, a lot of this will step by step talk you through on how to do it, but we'll run you through a quick demonstrator now, and then at least you can revert back to this. So we've got accept, and again there's a wizard set up, so it'll take you through your preferences if you want to have different names. So everything's touchscreen. Yep, so you've got distances set in miles and yards, fuel consumption, weight, date format. So again, you can choose that what you want. Vehicle wise, if you click onto vehicle, it is preset in the 7.5 ton vehicle option here. So if you do select that, then that will allow you to just go onto it. Yeah, and you'll see it'll change it just here. You got route preferences, motorway setups, and again at any point if you want to change this, then you can go into the settings on the actual sat nav unit, and that will allow you to go back into it. So how would you find that? So you just click onto this little button here and use the arrow at the side, go onto settings, and then we've got set start configuration wizard. Yeah, so that's how you find it. You've also got other options on here like route preferences and warnings, so you can do that if you want. If you want to go back to the home settings, you just click the top one there and it takes us back to set your route. You see, so you want to just go on to sort of nearby locations, save locations, you've got a little cursor there. Just use a little question mark, and that will give you some options of going in on your maps and out on your maps. Gives you a lock button. To plan the new route, you press the button at the bottom and hit the new route button. What you want to do then is go on to the address, and then in the middle button here, obviously if you're not in the UK, choose the UK, but in the middle button where it says postcode, you just add your postcode. Again, you've just got to give it a little bit of time. Use a space between the two letters, and then you just flip that, go to town, and that will take you to your destination. Okay, turn it off, you just go off it and then it'll go off, or turn your route off. Like I say, you can use your Apple Play or your Android Play. You can use your Bluetooth to then connect through to Spotify, things like that. So it's quite good in the way it formulates. When you want to turn it off, then you can just simply press that button there. Or like I say, you have a rocker switch here which will also turn it on and off depending on which way you want to do it. The little adapter shield that comes with the sat-nav card, keep that in case you want to do the updates, because that is a viable update. You've got a microphone just there as well for the speaker side of it. One thing to just note that's come to light by doing these videos is some of the earlier models that have the heater adjuster at the back don't come with them as standard on the newer ones. It is a change that they have modified, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, I hope you'll find the video useful. Please have a look at it. It will tell you about how most things work and operate. If there's any other questions, please give us a shout. Like and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. But thanks for watching the video.